I would have to say my biggest strength is the finishing of cakes. I mean, the final decorations, you know, the art that goes into it and the creativity. That's what I aim for. I rush through everything else just to get to that part because it's my favorite part. I like the finished product. I mean, a cake is really ugly until you finish it and make it pretty.
Okay, I gotta ask you now, so what do you mean ugly?
Well, it's just pretty much a blob sitting there. I mean, it's all flaky and crusty until you put some love into it, and then it turns into like a beautiful swan. It's an ugly duckling, you turn it into a beautiful swan, and I mean, that's my favorite part. My personal favorite thing to work with is fondant. I mean, when you put fondant onto a cake, it turns out very, very smooth and very professional looking. You know, it doesn't have the lines in it. It's perfect. It's flawless. And with regular icing, you can't achieve that. No matter how hard you try, you can't get it. Well, I can be a team player. In the end, the reason I came here is so that I could open my own business. I want to be the team leader. You know, I don't want to work by myself, and I can work in a team. I just want to be the leader of the team. I think so. I have kids. I'm pretty good at it. A lot of people that think that they want to work in the kitchen really get here and they really don't want to. And then by then they're kind of stuck. And it shows in their attitude and their demeanor every day. And sometimes you just got to kind of be like, you know, go to the corner and fix your attitude. And when you get it in check, you come back over here. And I do the same thing at home. And I guess that's the mother in me.
Okay, so it's kind of like, so those guys behind you, it's kind of like a daycare center.
Pretty much, in a nutshell, yeah.
I just want to make sure, tell me that. I want to make sure I got that right. Is that, so you're saying it's kind of like a daycare center with food?
Yes, it is a daycare center with food.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I'm a little bit older than a lot of the students here. I waited 10 years to go back to school.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm a little more mature and kind of dealt with life a little bit more than a lot of the students here. A lot of those chefs in there are like my 10-year-old daughter. They know everything. You can't teach them anything new. They are always right no matter what you say or do. So sometimes you kind of just have to let them go and let them fail. Which is what I do to my kids and in there.
They got their own agenda.
Oh yeah, let them go, let them do it, and when they fail, then you can say, ha, I was right, I told you that. Maybe you should have listened. Before I started here, you know, I was just, you know, little Miss Susie homemaker. I had taught myself everything, which wasn't much, you know, and I learned so much here when it comes to dealing with cakes. I mean, techniques, I had never even worked with fondant when I came here. And in there, I just covered a whole complete cake in fondant in 12 minutes. That's pretty darn good for a year of schooling. I mean, it's just, you don't know what you can do until you try it. And I talked about coming here, and you know, it was something I always wanted to do, and I kind of beat around. I'm one of those procrastinators. I'll say I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'll find a reason to put it off. And as soon as I said I want to go to culinary school, my husband grabbed my hand, he's like, let's go. Took me in, I filed online, and within a couple days I was up here, and my mom was like, you really did it. You said you were going to do something, and you stuck with it, and you did it. And now that I'm getting ready to graduate, my mom's like, I am so proud of you. My kids are proud of me. Well, my daughter, like I said, she's 10, and you know, we were sitting down one day before I started here talking about her grades. And I said, you know, Savannah, you got to keep your grades up because you have to go to college. And she said, well, Mom, you didn't go to college, and you're okay. I said, Savannah, I am not okay. You know, at that time I worked in a factory. I wasn't making good money at all. And you know, she looked at me and said, you're okay? No, I'm not okay. I said, fine, that's fine. I'll go to school. If I go to college, then you're going to college. And now that I'm about to graduate, I said, you owe me college. Remember that
How old
deal?
is she?
She's 10.
Does she understand what that means?
Oh yeah.
Good.
I made her pinky swear on it. If I go to college, you're going to college. But that was my biggest motivation to come. My confidence on cakes has grown like tremendously. I mean, yeah, I knew I could do cakes, but I didn't know I could do them at the degree that I'm at right now. I didn't know I could be this good. And now, I mean, if you asked me a year ago, I'd say, yeah, I could do a cake. I mean, it's not going to be the greatest, but yeah, I can do a cake. Now I can do you a darn good cake. And I'm proud to say that. Pretty much when you're decorating a cake in the kitchen, it's you by yourself. I mean, everybody does their own cake. So you don't really have people in your way. And then it's really smooth. You know what you need to do. Like, I know that I need to cut my cakes and layer it, and then I need to fill it, and then I need to crumb coat it, and then I need to do my top layer of icing or do my fondant. Then I get to do the decorating. And nobody's in my way, and nobody's asking me questions, or you know, you're doing that wrong. Don't do that. It's my cake. It's my creativeness. It's all me. You know, and the person beside me is doing their cake their own way, and I'm not criticizing them for it. Growing up as a kid, I always drew. I mean, and if you ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I always said I was going to be an artist. And I guess I kind of am an artist in a different way, but I don't know why it actually went from paper to food. It's still me expressing myself and me being creative. It's just in a different way than I would have thought when I was a kid. Most of my classes are at night, and my kids are at school during the day. So during the day, I do my studying for what I need for here. You know, make dinner before I come in here so that it's at least finished when the kids get home. All they have to do is reheat it. By the time I get home, usually they're in bed, so I have to run in, give them all their kisses, get out all their school clothes for the next day, and get my butt in bed, and then usually that's 12, 1 o'clock before that happens, and then I'm back up by 5 o'clock next morning to get my kids off to school. So I've done it for this long, and it's going to be kind of weird after I'm done here, actually not running around like a chicken with my head cut off all the time. And for the first week, I'm probably just going to sleep, to tell you the truth. I've lost sleep for the past year. Actually, coming here is kind of like my little vacation time. It's my me time. I come here and I kind of go, woosah, and prepare myself what's going to ensue when I get home. Because I know there's going to be a battle. This one's going to be fighting with that one, or that one's going to be pulling that one's hair, or you know, something crazy is going to be happening.
Like here.
When this one's sleeping, that one's awake, and when that one's eating, that one needs a bath. It's always something. Here, at least all I have to worry about is me.